All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. I've been going over a series of video presentations based on the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development program, and in particular the AWD 1111.NET Framework with Web Databases class. The book for the class, is shown right here, is Pro ASP.NET MVC 5. All right, I'm in the middle of Chapter 2. Fairly long chapter. As you can see, it's 40 pages. All right, and we're developing our first MVC application. And in particular, we are doing that because we're saying that somebody sent us a request for us to build an application for them so that they could send out party invites electronically. All right. So they talk about some overloads of the form action method as shown in figure 218, which I think is, nope, that's 214. It's 220. So let's see. There's 218. And the author says here that the first overload renders the same view as before, the RSP form to generate the form as shown. The second one is more interesting, okay? It uses what's referred to as model binding. This is a term. We'll explain it right now, but it might not yet make a lot of sense. It's something that you're going to be using on a regular basis as you get more and more involved in this. And as the author says here, it's an extremely useful MVC feature whereby incoming data is parsed and the key value pairs in the HTTP request are used to populate the domain model types. What does that mean? Those domain model types, if you remember before, that was the name, and that was the, are you coming type of thing, all that stuff that was in there. Okay? The author says this process is the opposite of using HTML helper methods. That is, when creating form data to send to the client, I generated HTML input elements. In contrast with model binding, the name of the input methods are used to set the values of the properties in the instance of the model class. For lack of better words, if that was a database, it would be like we'd be using what's in the form to fill in the database fields. That information is then passed to the post-enabled action method. Model binding, as mentioned right there, is a powerful and customizable feature that eliminates the grind and toil of dealing with HTTP requests directly. All right. The second overload also demonstrates how to tell MVC to render a specific view in response to a request rather than the default view. So it says right here, this call to the view method tells MVC to find and render a view called thanks and to pass it the guest response object to it. All right, to create the view, okay, they want us to right mouse click, but let's not do that. Okay, let's purposely see if we can generate an error right here. So let's come in here and let's do a file, save all, and let's run the program. So when this comes up, I'm going to click the hyperlink that says RSVP now. I'm going to then fill in the associated form and I'm going to click the submit button. And it's going to try to find something called thanks, a method called thanks that it can pass, or that it can call and pass at the guest response object, but there isn't one yet. Okay, so I'm purposely trying to set up an error condition. Why? Because these are the kind of things that are going to happen to you. They happen to everybody. All right, my name, sure. Jeffrey P. Scott, my email, my phone number. Am I going to come? Sure, I'll be there. Click submit. See how we get that? It's looking for something called thanks, just as before it looked for something called index. But since it does not exist, it doesn't know what to do. So, what do we want to do? Exactly what we just mentioned. That is, we want to right-click on the home controller and choose Add View. We want to create a strongly typed view called Thanks that uses the guest response model based on an empty template. All right, so hopefully we'll do this right. So I want to come in here. I want to go back to here, to our controller. All right, and I'm going to click on there, choose Add View. I think we call this Thanks. Let's double check. Called Thanks that uses the guest response model class. So we want this to be empty and use the guest response model class. These should all be empty, and click Add. It'll add another thing here. There's our thanks. All right, and it just added this for us. Okay? All right. You'll notice, or you may have noticed, squigglies under here. Sometimes when you first create something, you'll get the squiggly lines, and oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes it'll then just go away. So in the div here, we want to put this. And let's put it in. So again, inside of this div, let's put in this code. All right. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to do a file, save all. I'm going to run the program again, and then we'll go back and we'll discuss exactly what's happening right here. Okay? So we're going to run this. I'm going to click the link for, the RSVP link. I'm going to fill it in twice. First time I'm filling it in, am I coming? Yes, I'll be there. Submit it. Notice what I get. Thank you, Jeffrey P. Scott. It's great that you're coming. The drinks are already in the fridge. Now I'm going to back up, and I'm going to say, no, I can't come. And I'm going to submit it. Sorry to hear you can't make it, but thanks for letting us know. I'm going to try it a third time, and I'm not going to select either option. And it just says, I think it says what it said before. All right. But you have now seen, taking a quick look at this, apologize for that. Okay. Now taking a quick look at this, let's close it. All right. We saw that when we said we were coming, will attend was equal to true, so it did this. When we said we weren't coming, will attend was equal to false, so it did that. All right. So as it says here, the thanks view uses Razor to display content on the value of the guest response property. Now that we've created the thanks view, okay, we have a working example of how to handle a form using MVC, and that's what I just showed you. The problem that we have right now, I don't know if we'll have time to fix it in this tape, We're at 10 minutes, so it'll be tight. But the problem that we have right now is, note that if we run this, and I'm going to try something here. I'm going to click the link, and I'm going to leave everything blank. Okay? And notice, the reason we did get the sorry, because that was the else. So either you say you're going to make it or you get this message. But the point is, right now, I could put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can put in for an email, just hello. And for a phone number, I can put in howdy. And click RSVP, and notice what I get. No errors. Why? It's because right now, excuse me, right now the form is not being validated. So what we will do in the next section is we will add validation. All right? Yes, I could do it now, but I'm not going to, just because of the fact that validation is a fairly complex topic. So we'll add that, and then we'll check on that validation in the next section. All right.